Well, staying with that story at the same time, Tshwane Mayor Cilliers Brink says action is being taken against those who were part of the Rooiwaal Refurbishment contract. He addressed the media today about the uncertain future of the coalition government in the capital city following Action SA's withdrawal from their current partnership. Brink is also facing a motion of no confidence next week, as we've just heard in that clip. Brink says that in the last 18 months, he has fulfilled his main obligation, one being providing clean water to Hammanskraal, which had an ongoing water crisis for decades. On this, we're now joined via video link by political analyst Bongani Mahlangu on the latest political developments in the city of Tshwane. Thank you so much for your time. Yet again, what we are seeing is those political wranglings there within those various political parties. Given how this metro has been struggling with basic service delivery over the years, Bongani, there are now renewed fears, as we've just heard, of more uncertainty and instability, just given the coalition challenges in the capital, and of course, following Action SA's withdrawal from their current partnership. I mean, what do you make of the latest situation?
No, thanks. When we measure municipalities' performance, and that would be measuring the current leadership's performance, we can start with what was published by the Auditor General with regards to the MFMA audit report. And in the last financial year, the City of Tshwane, as far as electricity is concerned, the percentage of valid customer applications for new electricity connections, their target was 80, they did 71. When it comes to waste management, their target was 85%, they did 100%. When it comes to housing, their target was 20, they did 20. When it comes to roads, their target was 50, they did 116. So a percentage, so that's over performance. So that's how we measure them. So there's an SDPIP, there's an IDP. That tells us what the city, because the SDPIP is the city's business plan for the year. And the IDP is their strategic plan for 5 years. So then we should check those. What have they been doing? So according to this report, the MFMA, they are improving. When you look into their financials, they got a qualified audit opinion, moving from a disclaimer, which is the worst kind of audit opinion. And then also in the report itself, it speaks about what you have mentioned, the Rooiwaal water treatment plant. But the Auditor General says that the last time it got any maintenance was in 2010, and coalitions in Tshwane started in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, and this current administration started in 2021. So it was way before these guys came into the City of Tshwane as councillors. Yeah. So that is already being fixed, and the people of Hammanskraal will have access to water. So I just wanted to reflect on the service delivery and the indicators thereof. So and then put emphasis that what currently is happening in Tshwane is purely politics. Herman Mashaba is upset, and then he's flexing his muscle. He's already done that in the city of Johannesburg. They've done that also in part in the city of Ekurhuleni. Now, what is left as far as metros in Gauteng is the city of Tshwane.
And I mean, just talking about measuring performance, Cilliers Brink, of course, who is now facing an uncertain future with that motion of no confidence against him that will take place apparently next week, says they actually focused on three, key areas, and he gave a briefing around those focus areas, which speak to stabilizing city finances, and as you indicated, of course, on those improvements, improving service delivery for all communities and driving energy independence. Now, he does say the long-standing issue in Hammanskraal, and that is, of course, of the water challenges. He says that residents in Hammanskraal are set to receive clean drinking water from next month. I mean, what does this then say about how he has, over the past 18 months, been able to turn around the city and also improve on service delivery, on his leadership, and also a reflection, and of course, on how residents should actually be canvassing for him to stay on?
No, thanks. As I said, those would be the three priorities of the executive. So over and above the three priorities of the executive, as I said, you'd have then your SDPIP, which is the business plan of the city, would have been approved by council, also with its financials as well, in order to enable the plan and make whatever is there to come into fruition or into existence. So the indicators are positive, and that it's something we have to be objective on, and we can't take that away from them as the current administration, because as I said, the Auditor General has published, and also when we get into the city's annual report as well, because they should have by now either have presented or are finalizing their annual report. Their performance report. So that would also indicate the same. So with regards to those three objectives, the administration would have ticked their boxes. So then as far as stability is concerned, looking just at these indicators and performance, you tell that the city is stabilizing, the city is turning the corner. However, that does not mean each and every ward and voting district VD of the City of Tshwane is getting service or is getting adequate service. But we also have to understand that you have to stabilize the administration first, the political stability and also the administrative stability by getting a city manager, getting Section 57 managers, and also those that account to Section 57 managers to do their job and consequence management and so forth and so on. So the current crop has been doing that. And this is not me saying that they should be kept on. But I'm just saying that at some point, our politics have to mature in this country. We cannot make political decisions based on how we feel, based on a feeling of betrayal, and so forth and so on, which is basically what I've been hearing Herman Mashaba argue. Because if he had to argue as far as service delivery and the need to restructure the political leadership, then he would argue from what I have been raising with regards to the AG, the SDPIP, the ITP, the audited financial statements of the city, and he has not launched such an argument. And this might lead to instability as far as service delivery is concerned. I mean, we're only left with less than probably 18 months to the next election. So then why not conclude the term in order to ensure that the people of the City of Tshwane get what is due to them, so they enjoy their democratic dividends. They enjoy living in such a city, which is the administrative capital of the country. So these things are important, and voters, potential voters, have to start paying attention to these things to say, is there a need for such? Do you support people based on what? Are you getting the basic services? That is waste removal, that is water, that is street lights that are operational, roads that do not have potholes. Those are the basics. Is the city attracting investment? Does it create jobs? That is the local economic development. So that's what the city or the residents of the city should be looking at, and not be sidetracked by these politics. But unfortunately, the people we have put there as proxies in order to execute the delegated responsibility that we've given them through the ballot are just misbehaving and are immature.
I think the onus then is on residents to sift through, as you rightfully say, you know, the politics and get to the bottom of service delivery. But thank you so much, Bongani, for your insights. A political analyst there, Bongani Mahlangu, just on the latest political developments there in the city of Tshwane. And of course, the executive mayor there, Cilliers Brink, facing a motion of no confidence then next week. Of course, a story that we are monitoring and watching very closely.